This is Jeremy Christian, who was found guilty of murdering 2 people in Portland, Oregon. Christian was on a packed train when he suddenly broke out on a racial rant towards 2 young women. You can see bystanders step in to attempt to stop Christian. Unfortunately, the situation escalated and Christian stabbed and killed 2 men and seriously wounding a 3rd. You can see Christian fleeing the crime scene. Passengers of the train followed him and he was arrested about a mile away. During their arrest, you can see Christian in the back of the patrol car.
I'm happy as a motherfucker. Hopefully this motherfucker dies.
Christian was later found guilty of 2 counts of murder and attempted murder. Now, at the sentencing, one of the victims delivers a victim impact statement, and this is where Christian has an outburst.
To Mr. Jeremy Christian, your mom should have swallowed you. You are a waste of breath, and when you die and go to hell, I hope you rot.
See you there. You ain't gonna be married either. You ain't gonna be married either.
After Christian is escorted out of the courtroom, the judge sentenced him to 2 consecutive life terms, plus more than 25 years for his other convictions. This is Kelley, who was sentenced to life in prison for a robbery and murder he did not commit in Passaic County, in New Jersey. Kelley was 28 when he was taken into custody after a man was killed working at a video store. Kelley suffered a tragic brain injury, making him suffer a cognitive disability, and he had trouble processing information from detectives and allegedly admitted to the crime, even though he had not done it. Despite no physical evidence, he was convicted and put in prison. It wouldn't be until 24 years later the case was reopened, and major advancements in DNA testing proved that Kelley was not at the crime scene.
Therefore, in light of the foregoing reasons, the motion for a new trial is hereby granted.
A new trial was granted, and Kelley is now outside of prison for the first time in almost a quarter century, still with the fear he might go back.
My legal team, I want to thank them. I want to thank my family. Just want to get back to actually living for once.
Surprisingly, the prosecution later dismissed all pending charges against him. Kelley reportedly received $1 million and state compensation. This is Mackenzie Shirilla. She is a 17-year-old who is found guilty of murder for causing a car crash that killed her boyfriend and his friend.
Mackenzie decided death was the ultimate goal that day. This was not reckless driving. This was murder.
Shirilla's boyfriend, Dominic Russo, and his friend Davian Flanagan were in the car when she crashed into the side of a commercial building outside of Cleveland, going 100 miles per hour. Both men were pronounced dead at the scene. And sure, Shirilla survived. Prosecutors argued that the teen had a toxic relationship and Shirilla had made violent threats against her boyfriend.
Threatened his property? She threatened to break into his house?
Correct.
Reportedly, she crashed her car on purpose because she wanted to kill her boyfriend and that his friend was just collateral damage. The prosecutor said the intent was obvious upon seeing that video, that there was only one goal.
You see her driving very calmly and making the right turn, and then all evidence indicates she immediately put the pedal to the metal and drove straight into a building at 100 miles per hour. I think those really demonstrated to us that this was no accident.
And a few days before the crash, she allegedly took the same route to plot the crime. This is where the judge now finds her guilty count.
Count 1. Finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder, to wit Dominic Russo.
She now stands up to be placed in handcuffs as she continues to tear up.
Count 2. Finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder, to wit Davian Flanagan.
Shirilla and now has a moment to speak before her sentencing.
The families of Dom and Davian, I'm so deeply sorry. I hope one day you can see I would never let this happen or do it on purpose. I wish I could remember what happened. I'm just so sorry. I'm heartbroken.
There was no medical condition that caused this as an accident. There was no mechanical failure of the car. A failed suicide attempt is not a defense to murder. There's a very good likelihood, Mackenzie, that you will spend the rest of your life in prison. She's sentenced on count 1, 15 years to life. Count 2, 15 years to life, to be served concurrent to each other.
The judge sentenced her to 15 years to life in prison. This is Esteban Carpio. The police were questioning him for the stabbing of an 85-year-old woman in Rhode Island. In the interview room was Carpio and two detectives. One of the detectives left the room to get water for Carpio, leaving just him and Detective Sergeant James Allen in the room. Carpio grabbed Allen's gun and then shot him twice, killing him. He then jumped out of a window, which was 3 stories high, and made a run for it, but was apprehended just 45 minutes later at his arraignment. Carpio came in wearing a mask designed to stop the offender from spitting and biting at others, with also his face being in rough shape. It stunned the courtroom. It wasn't so much Carpio with the shocking reaction, more so with family members making accusations of police brutality.
Step off. Not guilty! I'm not guilty! I'm not guilty, Stephen!
It's gross police brutality. He was mentally ill and he needed help and we couldn't get it. We tried and tried. And he didn't deserve this.
An FBI investigation concluded that the police did not use excessive force and that Capo's injuries were sustained due to his jump from the 3rd floor of a building and struggle with the law enforcement.
Every day I face the facts of what I did and what happened.
He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. This is Mikel Brady, who attempted a prison escape that resulted in the death of 4 prison workers at Pasquotank Correctional Institution in North Carolina.
I stabbed him like 4 to 8 times. I hit Jeffrey Howe until he stopped moving. I don't know how many times I hit him with a hammer.
Brady was facing 24 years in prison for an attempted murder conviction after he shot at a North Carolina state trooper. And 4 years into his sentence, Brady and 3 other inmates brutally murdered 4 prison workers with hammers and scissors.
That man, Mikel Brady, beat that man, George Midget, like he was trying to bust concrete.
Brady then tried to hop a fence, but then was captured at gunpoint.
It was like a bloodbath, and I stepped in between Jeffrey and Wendy, and I slid trying to get in because the whole elevator floor was nothing but blood.
During the trial, the prosecutors argued that Brady was the one who planned the attack and had no remorse for the killing.
We know who originated the plan. We know who led the plan.
After Brady is found guilty, he now takes the stand at his sentencing.
I'm up here to tell the truth. You can ask me anything you want. I'm going to tell the truth. Whether it hurts me, whether it helps me. I don't care about that.
You don't believe you're crazy, do you?
No, I don't think I'm crazy, no.
And you do know the difference between right and wrong?
Yes.
So you know murder is wrong?
Murder is a different name for a death, but yes.
Your freedom meant more than their lives.
Yes.
And now the judge reads out the jury's recommendation.
The jury unanimously recommending that the defendant be sentenced to death.
Brady seems completely emotionless, and the judge later agrees on the death penalty, where he now sits locked up in Colorado awaiting his death sentence. This is Christopher McNabb, who is facing charges for the murder of his 2-week-old child in Covington, Georgia, after the child's mother reported the baby missing to police. Local law enforcement immediately launched a search later that night. McNabb is seen in front of TV cameras begging for his child back.
I want my kid back, man. That's my child, man. I want my kid, man.
The next day, the child's body was found in a nearby wooded area. The cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, which was later ruled a homicide. McNabb was arrested and charged with the murder of his own 2-week-old baby after he was found guilty. We now move on to the sentencing. McNabb can then be heard claiming his innocence.
I'm innocent. I didn't do it. I've maintained that the whole time. I would never do this. That's all I got to say. I would never do it. I'm innocent.
And now, the judge lets McNabb unknowingly choose his own sentence.
Claim you're innocent, so you tell me what sentence the man or woman that you claim did this should receive.
If you ever find out who did them, they deserve to be under the jail.
Okay, so they ought to get the maximum sentence.
Most definitely.
Okay. On the crime of malice murder, I sentence you to life in confinement without parole. On considering the death of another, I sentence you...
After McNabb was handed down the max sentence, he was moved to a hasty prison and try in Georgia, where he is serving his life sentence. This is Markeith Loyd, who is convicted of murdering a police officer in Orlando, Florida.
I'm creating a relationship, but somehow I have absolutely And they framed me.
Loyd, who was already on the run from the police after he killed his former girlfriend who was pregnant with his child a month later, Loyd is spotted in a Walmart. You can see him walking in. Moments later, Orlando Police Lieutenant Deborah Clayton pulls in. You can see her grab a cart and walk in. Reportedly, they crossed paths every few minutes outside the store. Lieutenant Clayton was notified, and she tried to stop and arrest Loyd when a shootout begun. Lieutenant Clayton was killed during the interaction, being shot 4 times. Following the murder, Loyd took off again, which led to a 9-day manhunt where he was later found. During the arrest, he tried to escape where he lost his left eye in the altercation here in court. Loyd took the stand. Reportedly, he believed everyone was able to kill him.
And I was just reacting, Mary. I was just reacting. Even when they opened the door, I just reacted. I fired 2 shots, I just reacted.
The jury then found him guilty.
It really hurts deep down inside.
This is Lieutenant Clayton's sister giving a victim impact statement.
She stood in the place as my mother when I didn't have one. I truly miss my sister. I truly miss her.
And this is the moment that Loyd hears that the jury unanimously recommends the death sentence.
We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Markeith Loyd, should be sentenced to death.
Loyd seems to mouth something out to the public. A few moments later, Loyd has an outburst.
You've been trying to kill me. You've been trying to frame me for murder.
All right, why don't we remove Mr. Loyd from the courtroom?
The judge later agreed with the jury and sent Loyd to death, where he now sits behind bars waiting for his death sentence. This is Franklyn Williams, who is convicted of multiple felonies, including armed robberies and fleeing police in Cleveland, Ohio.
Again, I'm going to interrupt. Mr. Williams, listen to me. I'm going to gag you in 1 second.
Williams conducted 3 armed robberies before leading police on a high-speed chase. He was later arrested and convicted. Now, at his sentencing, Williams would not stop talking, despite more than a dozen warnings from the judge.
But you not letting me.
That means zip it right now.
You trying to?
Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. That's a violation of the HIPAA law, Judge.
Here we go.
This resulted in the judge ordering Williams' mouth to be taped shut.
If you spit on, attempt to bite, or injure any of my deputies, you're going to have a bad day.
That's what it is.
At a following court appearance, Williams has something to share with the judge.
Freedom of speech, no duct tape. With the hashtag.
Aside from all the interruptions, the judge can hand down a Williams sentence.
I'm faced a potential maximum consecutive sentence of 134 years. I ordered a 24-year sentence.
After Williams received a 24-year prison sentence, the judge later apologized for the duct tape and threw out that sentence. He then appointed a new judge where she sentenced him to 30 years behind bars. This is Jennifer Mee in the Pinellas County Justice Center. At 19 years old, she was arrested on charges of first-degree murder. But this wasn't the first time she grabbed the public's attention when she was 15 years old. She gained international fame when she developed a case of uncontrollable hiccups. She was initially known as the Hiccup Girl, but that all ended when her hiccups were cured, and the media had no more interest in her until she was arrested. Mee was accused of setting up a robbery with a victim she had met online. She had reportedly recruited Lamont Newton, her boyfriend at the time, and another friend, the Ron, referred to help rob victims. He met up with a 22-year-old man she encountered online. She lured the man to a vacant home, and her 2 friends robbed and shot the man, which killed them. They got $50 for the robbery and murder. Near Rayford and Newman all lived together and were arrested within hours of the crime. When we had first got arrested, she was in jail, and she had a phone call with her mother where she admitted to her involvement, and the conversation ended up being recorded.
This call may be recorded or monitored. I have a free call from
Jennifer Mee,
an inmate at Pinellas County Jail.
I got charged for murder in the first degree.
Charged for murder in the first degree?
Yes, sir.
What charges did who did you kill?
I didn't do nothing. I was just there at the wrong time, at the wrong place.
Hello?
Hi, Mama.
Hello, Jennifer. What's going on?
I'm in jail.
Why are you in jail?
From murder in the first degree.
Who'd you kill?
I ain't killed nobody. Because I set everything up. It all went wrong, Mama.
The jury returned a guilty verdict, and Mee was found guilty of first-degree murder.
We, the jury, find the defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree as charged.
And now the judge will hand down the sentence.
Why don't you go to the podium, please? The jury having found you guilty of murder in the first degree, Miss Mee, I will adjudicate you guilty and sentence you to life in prison without parole. I'm ordering the 550 standard fines and court costs. You have 30 days to appeal. Okay?
Her co-defendants, Rayford and Newton, were also convicted of first-degree felony murder and were sentenced to life in prison.